This segment of the news has been brought to you by Sun Oil Limited.
Welcome back. Criminal detectives here in New Providence have launched another murder investigation as the country recorded a homicide on Thursday afternoon. A male was found fatally shot on Butler's Alley off Carmichael Road West. According to police, he was found behind a home in a shanty town. Police press liaison, Officer Superintendent Audley Peters, provides more details.
Shortly after 3 p.m. this afternoon, police received a report of a shooting incident that occurred on Butler's Alley off Carmichael Road. Our officers were dispatched, and when they came to the residence, they were directed to the rear, where they found a male lying on a septic tank. He was unresponsive. The EMS was called in, and following their assessment of the male, there was no signs of life found. At the moment, this incident is sketchy, and so the details are not available to be shared with you, the media. However, we appeal to members of the public who may have any information that could assist us in the furtherance of this investigation to contact the Criminal Investigations Department or the Carmichael Road Police Station and furnish us with that information. Again, we want to say to members of the public who are aware of persons being in possession of firearms to inform the police so that we can take action and take these persons off the streets.
Police say they so far have not been able to identify the victim other than he appears to be in his mid-20s. Superintendent Peters says they are following some leads, but are looking for relatives of the victim to provide further information. When asked about the audacious nature of the recent murders in the country due to the fact they're happening more in daylight hours, Superintendent Peters explains some persons have taken advantage of the mask mandate to commit crimes, thinking their identity will be concealed.
The pandemic has caused a shift in our country where individuals can be walking the streets with masks, and that in itself appears to give individuals some level of confidence or boldness that they won't be able to, the police and other members of the public won't be able to identify or recognize them. And so hence we've seen persons brandishing firearms, as well as walking the streets with firearms, as well as using firearms against others, broad daylight, having their faces disguised.
Now, Superintendent Peters also gave this update on how many weapons police have taken off the streets.
We want to say to members of the public who are aware of persons being in possession of firearms to inform the police so that we can take action and take these persons off the streets. In the last 2 weeks, we would have taken more than about 20 firearms off the road, placed a good number of persons before the court who are now being either on bail or being in custody on remand waiting trials. And all of this is in an effort by the members of the public and the police working hand in hand to take firearms off the street, to take dangerous drugs off the street, and to avert other incidents with the use of firearms from occurring.
Despite the country's most recent murders, Superintendent Peters says the police have collected more firearms and put more persons before the courts for those firearms this year in comparison to 2021. An adult male employee of a Virgin Cruise Line is in police custody tonight after he was accused by a female co-worker of rape. Police on the island of Bimini now investigating that sexual assault that occurred sometime between midnight Wednesday and shortly after 7 a.m. Thursday. That's when officers at the Allistown police station received a report of a sexual assault on board a Virgin Cruise Line. A team of uniformed officers dispatched. Initial investigations revealed that shortly after 12 a.m. on Wednesday, May 11th, a female employee reported that while at the crew bar, she met a male crew member. She stated that they engaged in a casual conversation and eventually went into her cabin. Now, while there, she said that the male crew member had sexual intercourse with her against her will. The man is assisting police with their ongoing investigations into the matter. Bahamas Power and Light, BPL, has a new chief executive officer who officially began his new role. Former Director of Utilities and Energy at the Utilities Regulation and Competition Authority, IRCA, Jcn Cambridge, was announced as the power giant's new chief. The announcement of Mr. Cambridge's appointment comes just 3 weeks after BPL's board accepted the resignation of former CEO Whitney Hastie and former Human Resources Director Evis Missick on April 21st. In a statement, BPL says Mr. Cambridge will immediately get to work while noting that at this critical juncture, he brings a methodical level of leadership, experience, and qualifications needed to manage and champion the transformation envisioned for the company. Mr. Cambridge is an accomplished businessman, attorney, and leader. Now, prior to his appointment at IRCA, he spent 25 years at the Bahamas Electricity Corporation, working through the ranks of assistant engineer, senior manager, regional manager, assistant general manager, and deputy general manager. BPL's chairman, Pedro Roll, says the company is excited to welcome back Mr. Cambridge, who was at IRCA from 2017. Mr. Roll notes that they are mindful that the challenges the company face and the direction it needs to go, coupled with the government's mandate to produce more consistent, efficient, and clear energy for Bahamians, will require Mr. Cambridge's skills to achieve these targets. BPL is convinced that he is the right person for the job. The Bahamas Technical and Vocational Institute, BTVI, has appointed Dr. Linda A. Davis as interim president of the institution. Dr. Davis was appointed as the first vice president of BTVI back in September of 2021. Prior to this, she was the provost of the University of the Bahamas. Dr. Davis has served in higher education administration at the senior level for more than 20 years. Boasting experience both locally and internationally, she has assumed the role of interim president effective immediately. The board of directors congratulates Dr. Davis, wishing her success in her new role, stating in a press statement that they are confident that Ms. Davis will be instrumental in the transformation and structure necessary to bring BTVI in alignment with its strategic goals. BTVI's board also thanking outgoing president Dr. Robert Robinson for his 6 years of service at the institution and by extension to the nation. Well, that's news this evening. Once again, I'm Synovia Williams, and from all of us here at JCN News, have a wonderful rest of the day.
This segment of the news has been brought to you by Sun Oil Limited.